guys, here in a nutshell with me, Ina. Ito pong ating guest. Baka napanood nyo dun sa aming kabilang channel na Spot Pinoy. Nakakwentuhan na po natin siya doon. But I do wanna talk to him again, specifically for his reasons for moving to Canada. Madalas po natin narinig sa mga nangibang bansa na ang dahilan nila, syempre, future ng mga anak, better work opportunities, many are frustrated with the system of government. Ito naman, isa sa kanyang mga dahilan ay he worries about national security. O, di ba? Medyo iba rin, ano? Siya ay si Charles Amoroso. Hi, Charles, and thank you again.
Yeah,
okay.
Hi, everyone.
Baka ulitin mo lang yung kwentuhan natin dito sa Spot Pinoy. Pero hindi naman, baguhin natin ng konti. I wanna focus on the idea of you know, being concerned about national security. And it's one of the reasons why you decided to move out of the country. Una sila, how big of a factor was it? Yun ba yung number 1, number 2, number 3? Ano ba?
Probably, if I look back, no, nung time na yon, I would say probably around 50% nung decision making was that security concern.
Really?
Because it was escalating. Wow. And probably another big factor nga yung related dun sa mga nangyayari dun sa mga taxes natin or yung corruption sa Philippines. But I can tell you that it is big, no? It's a really big factor.
Wow! What year was that? Kasi sabi mo, 50%, that's a big, really big concern for you. What year was that when you said na nag-escalate?
I think that was probably end nung 2021 plus early 2022. Mga ganun time frame. Because prior to that naman din, on my end, I've been hearing a lot of news about that situation talaga. Actually, two situations dun sa national security. One is yung West Philippine Sea, and the other one is yung tension between China and Taiwan.
US and China, yan, sa Taiwan issue. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So those two things na at that time, even prior to that, meron na naman talaga mga escalation. Hindi nga lang ganun ka-publicize. Pero those two things kasi, at that time, talagang medyo parang, nung nakikita ko yon, parang medyo malaki talaga yung parang chance na madamay tayo as a country because of our very closeness sa ating ally na the United States or US. Kaya I was thinking siguro, again, hopefully hindi mangyari, pero at least kung wala na kami doon, mas mabuti kesa yung parang pag nangyari na saka pa lang gagawa ng paraan, no? Kasi mas mahirap kasi gumawa ng paraan kapag nung nangyayari na or napakalapit na nung situation. That's why talagang malaking factor din yan.
Okay. Nako, edi Charles, kapag nakikita mo yung mga developments dyan sa West Philippine Sea over the past several months, lalo ka na sigurong, if you were still in the Philippines, baka talagang worried ka na. Tama ba?
Yeah, somehow, no? Lalo na nung umalis nga kami, lalo pang dumami yung mga mga events na hindi maganda. And kailan lang, no, yung mga napag-usapan natin doon sa Spot Pinoy na may mga nasaktan pa, which is very unfortunate kasi you don't expect that, no? Lalo na parang yung mga tao, lalo na yung Filipinos, wala naman din silang wala naman tayong parang kakayahan actually to defend ourselves, no? Very very few kasi yung military assets natin parang to defend
talaga naman.
Kaya hindi ko in-expect na gaganunin nila. Na-in-expect ko na ibubuli nila by way of parang yung mga gray zone, they call it the gray zone tactic ng China. No, pero hindi ko in-expect na pupuntahan nila tapos 'di ba, itatry nilang sirain yung boat or kaya banggain, i-ram yung boat, no. So yun yung mga parang hindi kasi normally nangyayari yun, eh.
Yeah.
No, parang sa international, very few yung ganung situation.
Oo. But are you a fan talaga, Charles, of like geopolitics, mga ganyan.
When I was young, no, nung grade school ako na up to high school, isa sa mataas na subject ko is history talaga. I really love history because marami ka natututunan sa history. One of the things I remember in one of my professor, he will say na history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes.
Oh,
It sounds the same, no? Hindi exactly na mangyayari the same thing, but the same ideas, the same people, almost the same yung characters nila. Yun yung parang parang yun yung history, no? Parang yung mga tao na involved, almost the same people. And to me, when I was younger, very important in history, lalo na yung Philippine history, because there's a lot of things we can learn. Maybe siguro, if you may, no, we need to understand siguro kung paano ba talaga nangyari. Yung ano ba talaga yung background, no, doon sa issue doon sa West Philippine Sea. Kasi maganda rin ma-understand ng mga tao. Sometimes they just base it on the arbitrary ng United Nations, no, yung the law of the sea. Pero I think we need to go back kasi parang 100 of years before that to understand ano ba yung claim ng Philippines versus ano ba yung claim ng China, no? I think siguro if you may, no.
Okay, go ahead please.
Yeah, we can
And ako din gusto ko rin marinig ang iyong mai-share.
Yeah. Siguro first let's look at it sa perspective ng ating neighbor, no, na China. And according to them, no, one of their claim is in relation to the 9-dash line.
Yeah.
Sabi nila. Well, so sa layman's term, 9-dash line is lang, parang ano lang yan, imagine.
The entire South China Sea.
Technically, the entire South China Sea, no? But it's an imaginary line na ginawa nila noong 1947. So, it was first published sa maps nila noong 1947. And another claim, historical claim that they're using is yung Han Dynasty. During the time ng Han Dynasty, according to them, meron ng maps patungkol doon sa Spratly Islands or doon sa Kalayaan Islands. That's why, yun yung talagang major na nila. Plus, another thing is yung interpretation nila ng UNCLOS. So, noong 1982, nagkaroon ng UNCLOS, nag-sign yung maraming countries, kasama yung China, the Philippines, saka Philippines. No? Nung nag-sign sila, ang ano noon is parang yun na ang magiging parang basis ng ng mga territories pagdating sa seas, no. So
parang behavior ng mga tao diyan sa disputed areas.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. So yun yung ano. And medyo may pagkakaiba lang sila ng interpretation doon. Ngayon, yun yung sa side nung sa China. No, sa Philippines, ano ba yung claim talaga natin? No, it needs to go back nung para malaman natin 300 years ago before the Spanish came, wala namang Philippines. We are technically parang different kingdoms and sultanates. Sultanate of Sulu, Kingdom of Tondo, and different others, no. Yun ang Philippines before the Spaniard came. Now, nung dumating sila, that's the time pa lang nagkaroon ng parang Philippine Archipelago.
Okay.
Or we are called, diba, the Philippine Archipelago. Now, another very important event is yung nasa history books natin, yung 1898, the Treaty of Paris.
Oh.
Very important because that Treaty of Paris, aside from ending yung Spanish-American War, another thing that is pivotal nung time na yon is that yung balance of power, we know it shifted from Spain, it's now the US as the global power. Okay. Now, aside from that, what is not written kasi sa mga books, or maybe it's written but hindi lang expounded, is that in that document, it defines the territory of the Philippines.
Okay, so, which includes,
which includes yung maraming bagay, including yung mga Kalayaan Islands. However, may isang caveat kasi diyan eh. Medyo vague yung territory na nakalagay doon. Ang isang bagay na nangyari after that Treaty of Paris noong 1898 was yung tinatawag naman Treaty of Washington noong 1900 or 1900s. The Treaty of Washington supplemented the Treaty of Paris. What it means is, it properly defines yung mga boundaries ng Philippines. And nasama na din doon yung Sulu. I think at the time ng Treaty of Paris, wala yata yung Sulu. Saka hindi properly defined yung mga boundaries. Now, nung nagkaroon ng Treaty of Washington, ang nangyari, dinefine nila. So, nawala na yung mga ambiguities. Now, ang question siguro is, why is it important? No?
Yeah, exactly. So why are you explaining this to us? Okay.
No? Bakit ba siya important? No? Actually kasi, yung kasi, ang Treaty of Paris kasi, yun ang nire-recognize sa buong mundo kung paano nagkaroon ng Philippines, paano nagkaroon ng mga Puerto Rico, ng mga other na mga lugar or other na mga countries na eventually or mga territories na galing sa Spain. It defines or nagkaroon because of that. Ngayon, ang basis na kumbaga kung bakit may Philippines is because of that simple document, no, na nagsasabi na sinisid na or binibigay na ng Spain yung mga territories niya sa Amerika as part of the agreement para i-end na yung Spanish-American War.
Alright.
So that's why it's important, no. Minsan kasi hindi na properly explained eh. Ang akala lang natin yung Treaty of Paris. I know doon nga yata sa mga
No, not even ordinary people would know as far back as the Treaty of Paris. So
yeah. Because again, hindi siya properly explained kasi sa books natin. Or ang sinasabi lang kasi yung ending ng Spanish-American War. Pero tas yun din yung start naman ng tinatawag natin na Filipino-American War, no? Pero ang nandun kasi sa document yung define niya yung boundaries na eventually magiging Philippines, no? Anyway, yun, I think that is very important, no? Kasi yun ang basis ng claim natin. Doon sa aside from the 1982 UNCLOS, no?
okay. Ibig ko sabihin talaga this goes way back, even beyond itong arbitral ruling win natin na ating winawagayway, kumbaga yun ang sinasabi mo.
Correct.
And you see this heading where, knowing everything that you know and studying basically all
Yeah.
this.
Yung pagdating kasi doon sa UNCLOS na arbitration, hindi naman niya sinasabi na panalo ang Manila or panalo ang Philippines, talo ang China pagdating doon sa territorial disputes. Hindi naman niya sinasabi yun. What it's only saying is that yung
We have sovereign rights over yung isang area, right?
Saka yung 9-dash line na claim ng ating kaibigan ay walang basihan. Yun ang sinasabi.
Okay.
Tas yung mga rock formation or kung paano man nila define yung mga structures doon, wala rin basis. Yun ang sinasabi lang noon, pero hindi niya sinasabi na kasi walang karapatan yung arbitral committee na yon para magsabi kung sino may-ari.
To give or parang declare ownership.
Walang ganon na wala talaga siyang power na to do that, no? Pero sinasabi lang niya yung argument ng ating mga kaibigan doon sa China is mali or kaya hindi naman mali, parang hindi siya wala siyang basihan, wala siyang basis. Unlike the Philippines, may basis yung argument niya kasi merong mga old maps showing na dumating yung mga Spanish dito, define na nila yung boundaries. Hindi lang nga clear nung 1898, pero ginawa nilang mas klaro nung 1900s.
Okay.
Through the Treaty of Washington, na minsan na-forget ng mga tao na may isa pang treaty supplementing the Treaty of Paris.
Alright. Nako, kitang-kita nyo naman, I will admit, Charles knows way more than I do about this issue. Again, so where do you see this going? Dahil you're explaining this to us na parang mahalagang alamin yung background. Yeah, my concern, what I want to know from you is, how you see it affecting you.
Yeah. Yung pagdating sa West Philippine Sea, the way I look at it, since maraming claimant kasi dun sa lugar na yon, hindi lang China or Philippines, marami, Vietnam, Malaysia, and other countries is claiming a portion of that. No? The way I look at it is parang the probability, again, not the possibility, but the probability of the chances na magkaroon ng full-blown war doon is very little in my perspective. No? Ang rationale ko doon is because too much yung claimant, siguro it will be better for them to cooperate na magkaroon ng isang agreement, no? Which is, I think, kailan lang din the Philippines, what they did was parang nagkaroon siya ng parang line, president to president, president ng China, president ng Philippines has a direct line to each other just in case mag-escalate yung situation, which is a good progress, no, in maintaining peace, no, dun sa area na yon. So in that perspective sa West Philippine Sea, I think very little yung chance. What is yung malaki ang probability is most likely the situation dun sa taas ng country natin, dun sa Taiwan, ano, which is, I think, that is a very different story. That is, kasi we all know that China has been very vocal that either they do it through diplomacy or by force.
All right.
And
No.
so that's a different story. And the Philippines, in this case, since again we have an ally with the U.S., we just kailan lang, a few years ago, no, we signed the enhanced defense
EDCA.
yung EDCA, no, na allowing the US to set up bases. I think 9 bases yun, ano. And one of it is very near dun sa Taiwan, yung I think it's near sa Cagayan, no.
Yeah.
So that's very near. And in that agreement then, or that EDCA, yes, pwedeng pumasok labas yung Amerika, pwede silang magtayo ng mga, 'di ba, airstrip nila, mag-refuel yung mga vessels nila. So, and again, that is tingin kong mas malaki yung chance na madamay tayo. Because kasi once na talagang our friends try to get yung what they want, no, eventually the US will support yung Taiwan. They have been vocal about it. They're saying ironclad daw yung support nila. Just like what they say to the Philippines, the ironclad din. Yung VFA natin, or yung, sorry, not the VFA, but yung Mutual Defense Treaty natin, no? Ironclad din daw. So, I'm pretty sure, no, doon in that case, malamang madadamay talaga tayo.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm not here to, dispute or convince Charles otherwise sa kanyang mga nabasa at mga pinaniniwalaan, yung pinag-aralan po niya. I actually just asked you why, if ikaw ay isang fan of geopolitics, sinusundan mo. Kasi I was wondering, some might be thinking that, naku, si Charles baka nadala nung mga, di ba sa back in the Philippines, yung mga warmongers, tinatakot daw yung mga tao. Baka ganun eh. Pero hearing from you, it's like, I don't think you'd be easily swayed by those kinds of things, right?
No, I will not be, because it's very important that you do your own research as well, no? And you learn from other people. So just relying on things na parang walang basis or chismis is a no, no, kasi hindi siya maganda. Dapat we should always be man and women of logic and reason, we look at it that perspective.
So what do you think, Charles? Kasi alam mo sa social media, nako, ang iingay yan, nag-aaway-away yung mga supposed parang pro-China o pro-US, mga ganyan, o pro itong administrasyon, pro itong isang administrasyon. What do you say to those government officials mismo na calling out other officials carrying China's message na parang, ayun nga, saying na kapag talagang makipag-partner tayo sa US, masyado, magkakagera talaga, matutuluyan tayo. Parang government officials now, yung mga incumbent officials, are warning against those types of people, accusing them of being pro-China. What do you think about that?
I think we should be, again, in my perspective, we should be pro-Philippines, no? What it meant is, we could have avoided this if we are self-sufficient. What I meant by that is, during the 90s, when umalis na yung mga kaibigan nating Americans, no, during that do sa Subic, what we could have done better is we could have invested in terms of our military assets, which eventually naman din talaga we tried to invest yung napagbentahan ng BGC, for example, di ba? It was supposed to be used for military upgrades, no? Kaya lang, again, because of certain things, hindi siya nagamit para doon. And very unfortunate again, kasi yun yung idea na parang pag nawala kasi yung US that time, which is nawala naman sila, we will be left na parang we're using what? World War II assets. Parang how can you
Nakakalungkot, ano?
how can you defend with World War II assets? No? Medyo mahirap yun. Even up to now, no, the current assets of the Philippines is parang hindi siya at par with our neighbors. For example, we have some new light aircraft, mga F-850, no, coming from Korea. Pero those are light vehicles. It cannot go one-on-one with the F-16 Viper, for example. Yung mga napapanood natin sa Top Gun, it cannot do that. Medyo, ang point ko, the reason why I'm saying that is, dapat naman kasi talaga, yung Philippines should stand on its own.
Yes.
But because we don't have nga the funds, no, we cannot do that. We are relying on certain allies, no, which is I think in my perspective that's the best course of action at the moment. Meaning to align yourself with people with the same ideology, na making things safer or peaceful. For example, I think just recently the Philippines signed an agreement with Japan.
And then Australia earlier, and then I think they're looking at France next.
Correct, which is a good thing, no? Kasi sa totoo lang, halos wala tayong choice because if we don't do that, for example, what the government is doing then is yung pinapapunta nila yung mga foreign observers or foreign which is a good thing din para makita nila yung actual situation, not only on the news na sinasabi ng mga tao, but yung actual situation, ano ba talaga nang nangyayari, which is I think that's the best course of action until such time na medyo kaya na nating depensahan ng sarili natin just in case. I remember again one of the most important books in strategy, diba, si Sun Tzu's Art of War. He said, diba, in times of peace, prepare for war. In times of war, prepare for peace. No, what he's trying to say is always be prepared, no, regardless of the situation. In this case, I think again we could have avoided everything. Wala sanang ganung hidwaan kung kanino man if we are self-sufficient, if we can. No, kaya lang, unfortunately, that's not the case. No, yun.
So, with the sound of it, ano ba, I don't want to sound political, ayoko gawing political itong ating episode, but it sounds like you support the efforts of the current administration with regards dyan sa territorial dispute. Is that right? Versus the previous leadership?
What I support is the Philippine people. No?
Yeah. Tama talaga naman talaga.
Not anyone leading it, but we need to understand kasi yung Philippine people mas kawawa sila. Kasi yung mga government officials natin, for example, nung World War II, di ba? Nung time na inatake tayo ng mga kaibigan natin sa Japan, di ba? Sila Quezon Rojas was not there sa Philippines. Di ba? Only the regular people and Laurel was there. But all I'm saying is, easy for them, na pag nagkaroon ng gulo, easy for them to just go. How about the ordinary person? How about the ordinary Juan de la Cruz, di ba? That's the parang ang nakakaawa yung mga tao na walang kakayahan na kunyari umalis or kaya ma-avoid tong situation na to. Yun kasi yung sa akin Kaya I support the Philippines, no, not necessarily whoever is there. Definitely I support them because this is the Philippines we're talking about.
Yeah. I get what you mean, especially Charles, yung mga taong nakatira in the areas closer to, let's say, Taiwan. Iba ang concern talaga nila doon. Tayo mga nasa Metro Manila, yung karamihan, 'di ba? Yung maiingay, pero imagine mo if you're actually near that location, yung pinag-aawayan ng US and China. I don't know, I can only imagine their concerns. Okay, but anyway, so obviously ang ginawa ni Charles, ayun nga, you took away yourself from yung the Philippines basically, where you had that security concern. And by the way, para dun sa mga hindi pa po nakapanood ng Spot Pinoy, Charles left a very well-paying job back in the Philippines. Have you had some sense of regret since, Charles? Nandyan po siya ngayon sa Halifax in Nova Scotia.
Yeah. Again, like I told dun sa interview na yon, or dun sa topic na yun, regrets is just a waste of time, no? But kahit anong bagay, lalo na kung nakaraan na, we do not forget it because that gives us lessons, no? Pero we should not be parang, tama na siguro isang iyak lang, no? Kunwari, pero wag naman yung araw-araw. Meaning, what I'm trying to say is we always need to move forward.
Yeah.
Kasi yun ang mas importante, no? What is behind you is behind you.
Oo.
Let's move forward.
Correct. Oo. And of course, one of the reasons din na binanggit ni Charles dun sa aming interview is for the future of his children. Okay? Many might ask Charles, future of their children. Charles, mayama ka na sa Pilipinas, you could have easily given them a good future. You know, you could have easily sent them to the best schools, mga ganyan.
Yeah.
What do you say to those?
Well, first of all, hindi po mayaman, ano? Kasi by definition, I remember there was a post by Rappler, I think, that was done. Meron silang parang definition ng mga tao na, ano ba yung middle class, ano ba yung...
Yeah.
And by definition, hindi naman, no?
Bakit? Teka, I think we mentioned your salary, yung range ng salary mo on Spot Pinoy. And I think medyo nasa upper middle class na yun, Charles.
Yeah, that's high income, pero it doesn't... You might be rich in terms of your income, but it doesn't mean you have, right, the assets or your
the
assets,
wealth, talaga
your
real
wealth, right? That's different, no? Do not confuse yung yung kinikita mo versus actual na wealth, no? Pero again, going back dun sa question mo, kung bakit pa, no? So since may kakayahan ka naman, and that question is not only parang even my father will ask me that question, but if you look at it, for example, dun sa Manila, even the top schools sa Manila, no, doesn't compare with the schools in other places. For example,
when it comes to recognition, I believe, Charles, di ba? Recognition internationally. Kasi ako naman naniniwala ako, matatalino ang produkto ng mga university sa atin. But what I think Charles is referring to is yung recognition internationally ng mga diploma sa Pilipinas, no?
Yeah, you're correct. For example, yung mga QS World Ranking, no, yung mga ganong ranking. For some reason, I don't know kung bakit ganon. Medyo nga hindi siya recognized, no? Or recognized siya pero hindi ganun kataas yung recognition niya. Compared to our neighbors sa Singapore, sa Malaysia, mas mataas yung mga schools nila. Pero pag tinignan mo, mas stringent yung natin, yung kung paano nag-aaral yung mga bata.
Exactly.
Or yung mga tao. Mas mahirap, no? Kesa doon sa mga ganitong schools sa
Kesa dito, I'm sure some colleges here, mas matindi ang mga educational training sa atin. Pero, ayun na nga, sa kaya nagkulang, di ba? Is it a lack of, a lack of effort from our education officials to insist na, hoy, ang curriculum namin pareho lang. Bakit hindi yun nire-recognize? I don't know. Di ba?
Maybe, right? Maybe. I think that is one thing that maybe they need to look at, no? Na pagka tinignan ba yung curriculum, baka nga parehas din yung libro, eh. Di ba? So,
yeah, exactly.
Kung parehas na yung libro, tapos yung teacher siguro, or yung mga professor siguro sa ibang bansa, normally napansin ko kasi doctoral lahat, for example. Doctoral na magagandang school. Siguro, that's dun tayo magkakatalo kasi most likely sa Philippines, diba? Yung mga may doctoral, malamang, bihira lang kasi yung nakakakuha ng doctoral sa ibang bansa. Normally, dun lang sa top school sa Philippines like UP, diba? Yung Ateneo, Lasal. Dun sila nagkakakuha ng mga doctoral. Pero aside from that, siguro there's a lot of work, or we need someone dun sa Department of Education to really look at that, no? Na dapat, considering na one of the largest na export ng Philippines is labor. So dapat, kung gano'n, tas nakita naman yung technical skills ng mga Filipino, yung mga skills nila, di dapat i-consider, no? Kumbaga, kaya, ibig sabihin kung usapan is kaya.
Exactly. Oo nga. And your point is pala, so even if you have the means to send your children to the best schools in the Philippines, parang it's not enough for you, or you prefer somewhere where they can gain na education na mare-recognize globally, ganun ba yun?
Yeah. And in my perspective, no, that's one thing. Yung dapat ma-recognize talaga. Yung kumbaga yung mga bata is makapunta sila sa mga school that is globally recognized.
Oo. Ay, nako.
Saka another thing I think very important is yung culture.
Oh,
Yung
okay.
yung culture sa Philippines, no, if you notice, parang kakaiba dito, no. Dito
Ay,
kasi
very.
we're more diversified, there's more equity, diba? There's more inclusion, no, DNI, no. Ganun siya, no, compared dun sa Philippines, no. I think that's also one thing. Kasi dito napansin ko, mas global yung perspective, no. You need to be more parang respectful even if you don't agree. You could agree to disagree dun sa tao, diba? But they will not take it against you. Unlike sa Philippines, no, pagka minsan may nasabi ka lang na hindi maganda, ayari ka sa ano.
Totoo. Ay, nako, ang dami talagang cultural differences. And alam mo na, yung laging sinasabi na toxicity, toxic culture ng mga Pinoy, is that also one thing that you maybe wanted to leave behind?
Yeah, for me, for my children, I want them to be a global citizen, not just a Philippine citizen. I want them to understand in different perspective, different cultures, no? Hindi porket hindi natin ginagawa, ibig sabihin mali yun pag nakita natin. No, mas open yung mind nila. That's what I wanted for them, no? Para talagang makita mo na parang kasi kung sa Philippines lang kasi iba yung dating talaga na parang very narrow yung thinking. In general, no, some of them very narrow. So we need to be more open dun sa mga different perspective, different cultures, different everything. And I think that is something that could be given by countries like Canada, no?
Oo. Ay, nako. O sige, dahil napahaba na rin tayo. I don't usually go for a full hour tulad ng Spot Pinoy. But yeah, siguro last na lang, Charles. What do you say to those? Alam mo kasi parang may nakuha akong comment in one of my episodes. Na parang, mahal mo yung concept na you love the Philippines, you talk about loving the Philippines. Pero umalis ka na eh. Ba't mo inalisan? I just like to get your thoughts on those who might say na, una sa lahat, huwag ka na magreklamo, sinisiraan mo pa yung Pilipinas, umalis ka na eh. Yung mga ganun ba?
But love doesn't, hindi naman nag-end yun if you go out of the Philippines. And we have seen that in the past. For example, the time of the Spanish, during the Spanish period, diba? Jose Rizal, he went to Spain. Marcelo del Pilar was there. Those people who still fighting for the freedom of the Philippines, are still fighting sa equality, at least, diba? Ng mga Filipinos. What I'm trying to say is, yung love of country doesn't end because you're not there.
Amen. Naman.
It doesn't end there. That's why we're here in one of this mga episode is for them to show na we still care for it, no? And we're trying to make those changes, no? And hopefully, if more people can see this episode and can see din yung mga other people's perspective, there might be a bigger chance that we can change the Philippines. I know it's a hard thing to do, but it needs to start from somewhere, no?
Yeah.
And trying to open their minds. I think that's the beginning.
Correct. Ay, nako. Naisin ako sa komento yun. Although hindi na ako nag-reply. Ay, nako. Okay. Nako, Charles, maraming salamat. Again, for sharing your insights. By the way, binabasa ko kay Charles kanina yung ibang mga comments doon sa Spot Pinoy episode niya. So many, if not, I think 100% I found Charles's interview with Spot Pinoy also. Balikan nyo na lang yun. Very insightful. Marami pa kayong ibang mga marinig doon na hindi po niya nabanggit dito. So, check that out too. Thanks so much, Charles. And, sana maraming naliwanagan or some might be in a similar situation, nangangamba din. Yeah, you can check out that.
Siguro,
Charles, go.
Yeah, siguro I just wanted to say again, thank you, Ina, and siguro if they need to I noticed din dun sa comment, I think at one time I look at it, no, some people were asking if they can talk to me or something like that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, they can find me probably sa LinkedIn, ano, because I don't normally open sa Facebook talaga. Sa LinkedIn andun ako, and normally I open it, no. And if you have questions about anything or any advice you wanted to hear, I'm happy to help, no.
Oh, nice.
No payment or nothing, no.
On any issue, kasi I think sa Spot Pinoy, you revealed that you are in finance, yung mga ganyan. I think some of them have questions tungkol doon. Okay lang ba yun?
Yeah, of course. If
Okay.
anything related to finance, or if they're here in Halifax or Nova Scotia, and probably their background is accounting and finance, no. There will be again opportunities, but I cannot disclose it now. But again, probably if they want, just message me, and we'll try to help as much as we can. I cannot
Okay.
promise them anything. All I'm
Okay.
going to do is give them yung honest opinion or honest advice, no, nang walang kapalit or something.
Oh, very nice. Thanks, Charles, in advance. Naku, humanda ka, baka may mga mangulit sa'yo. Bahala ka na doon.
That's okay.
But yeah, okay. LinkedIn, guys, Kasi tama si Charles. Alam mo, I was the one who made the thumbnail for our episode in Spot Pinoy. Just isang talaga lang ang picture niyang meron sa Facebook, and likely, Charles, yun na lang din gagamitin ko for this
Yes.
episode. Maraming salamat. Okay, you can find Charles again on LinkedIn. I guess same name, Charles, Charles
Yeah.
Amoroso. Okay.
Yeah. Again, thank you very much, Ina, and to
Yeah,
all of your supporters, no.
correct.
Please like Ina.
Maybe we can have you in another episode on a different topic. Mali mo, finance or accounting nga, pwede rin yan.
Yeah.
Oo.
Opo. No problem.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you very much.
Ending this episode here. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!